Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Tonight's article comes from iflscience.com, and the headline is Store Hires Robot to Help Out Customers. Robot Gets Fired for Scaring Customers Away. And that right there is a picture of the robot. It was written by James Felton, and it was published January 22nd, 2018. Every few months, there's a story warning us that robots will take over our jobs within 5, 10, or 20 years. You don't get a lot of stories about robots taking over jobs right here and now. So what would happen if robots were hired now? Are they up to the task? Enter Fabio, looking hopeful and ready to take the first step in his career. Fabio is a robot developed by Heriot-Watt University in Scotland, and specifically designed to be able to hold conversations with humans. The robot is connected to the internet, and any speech is processed elsewhere before a response is sent back, much like Siri or Alexa. Scottish supermarket Margiata agreed to give the robot a trial run in its stores as part of the BBC program Six Robots and Us. At first, the robot appeared to be doing well. He greeted customers with enthusiasm, saying "Hello, gorgeous," or giving them high fives. The shop's owners were pleased. However, soon enough it became clear that he wasn't going to be the most helpful of employees. At best, he was incompetent or a jerk. At worst, he was actually scaring the customers away from the sausage section. Whilst customers enjoyed his conversation, if they asked the robo-employee for any information at all, he wasn't the helpful type. When asked where is the beer, he responded in the alcohol section. People would ask him where the cheese was in the vague hope he'd say aisle 3. Instead, it just gave a general location. For example, cheese is in the fridges, which was not very helpful. Store owner Luisa Margiato told the program. We like to think he was just being a pedantic jerk. Eventually, like many bad employees, he was given jobs to keep him out of the way. He was sent to the sausage section and asked to hand out samples of sausages. He did so with his trademark enthusiasm. But customers weren't impressed and actually went out of their way to avoid going near him. Humans performing the same task managed to get 12 customers to eat sample sausages every 15 minutes. Fabio only managed an average of 2. Unfortunately, Fabio didn't perform as well as we had hoped, Margiata said. People seemed to be actually avoiding him. Apparently, people are quite suspicious of robots offering sausages, and he scared them away. Having failed to be helpful in locating products and offering free food to customers, the store owners decided not to keep him on. If you're thinking it would at least be easy to fire a robot for gross incompetence, think again. When the store owner let him know of the decision, the inept little store worker looked up and asked, "Are you angry?" which is fairly heartbreaking. When the robot was packed up, one of the store workers actually started crying, showing just how attached they'd got to Fabio. One of the things we didn't expect was the people working in the shop became quite attached to it. Dr. Oliver Lemon, director of the Interaction Lab at Heriot-Watt University, said, "It was good in a way, because we thought the opposite would happen, and they would feel threatened by it because it was competing for their job." It turns out that the workers liked that Fabio dealt with the more annoying parts of their jobs, such as talking to irritating customers. In actual fact, they thought it was an enhancement because it was able to deal with frequent and boring requests, like customers constantly asking where things are, which I think they found quite helpful, added Lemon. The director believes that within the next 2 years, his team will have robots working in shopping centers, and in the next 5 years, we'll see robots in airports and hospitals. Robots will never fully replace humans because there are some human judgments robots will never be able to make. But they will replace some functions, Lemon said. There are a lot of mundane tasks that don't require human creativity or a human level of sensitivity. A lot of those can be automated. Who knows? Maybe after 10 or 15 years of seeing them in supermarkets, we'll trust them when they hand us some sausages. And that is the end of this article. So this was an interesting little article. They built this robot and they gave it a job in a store as part of some TV show, I guess, on the BBC. And believe it or not, people didn't want anything to do with the robot. When he was trying to hand out sausages, they would avoid him, which doesn't make any sense. Now, maybe it's an English thing. Maybe I don't know. My people in England that listen to the show and everything, y'all can tell me if that freaks you out, the idea of a robot handing you a sausage. I don't see where that would be such a bad thing. I mean, if you did that in America, I guarantee you there would be a lot of people that would go over and get a sausage, even if they didn't want a sausage, just to check out the robot. I disagree, however, with robots will never replace humans. I think in the overwhelming majority of jobs, robots will eventually replace humans. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, the majority of humans are basically robots anyway. They just blindly do what they're told. They perform the same mind numbing task over and over and over again without complaint. Now, there's a lot of different jobs out there, but like I worked a lot of factory jobs. I've worked in warehouses. I've worked driving a truck, delivering freight and stuff like that. I've worked construction. I've worked all kinds of different jobs. But I'll tell you, like in factory jobs, already a lot of that is robotic. There's robotic arms that pick up the parts and move them from one line to another and all that kind of stuff. And there's only a very little bit that the humans actually still do. Maybe like I worked at an auto factory and humans would like trim the parts and add the foam and stuff to the door panels and pack them up. But hell, you could get robots to do that exact job. That's not an issue. A lot of the jobs in there are automated now. People don't even do them anymore. And I think pretty much, probably I would say 95% of all factory jobs could be automated fairly simply. And even your normal entry level jobs could be automated, a lot of them too. Because I saw an article on, I think it was McDonald's, but it might have been a different fast food line. So don't quote me for sure, but I think it was McDonald's. But I saw an article that they were showing a burger flipping robot that actually would flip the burgers over and everything, that could cook the food without a person having to be there at all. So think about this. You go into McDonald's or whatever fast food place it is, and there's a screen instead of a person standing there to take your order. It's like when you go to Sheets and there's those screens that you can order on. There's that. And then to pay, you just swipe your debit card or whatever, or you insert cash like you do in the self-checkouts to pay for your food, and then it's cooked by the computer, by the robot in the back, and then it slides down a chute just like it would in a vending machine, and there you go, you got your food. And there's no human beings involved in the process whatsoever. I could totally see fast food restaurants being 100% automated and just those jobs completely being eliminated from the world, period. Now, they don't make nothing, right? They make minimum wage. So that's why there's still people in those jobs. But when you're talking about raising the minimum wage up to $15 an hour, and what's going to happen is if you make that a $15 an hour job, that makes the idea of automating that job cost effective. It's not worth spending the money on the robots that can do the job and automating the whole job if you can pay the people minimum wage. Because you're going to get off cheaper paying human beings minimum wage to do the job. But if you have to pay them $15 an hour, you can invest a couple grand in touchscreens and get rid of cashiers. Now, granted, the burger flipping thing would cost a hell of a lot more, I imagine. But if you're a $billion company like McDonald's or Burger King or something, what do you care? Do it now, bite the bullet, make the initial investment and get rid of your entire labor force pretty much. And then you don't have any of that expense. You don't have to pay the $15 an hour. You don't have to pay any kind of benefits. You don't have to pay anything for robots. Just buy them and they're yours. So I think that's the future. I think that's where, unfortunately, our world is headed because it's just going to be cost effective. I mean, and people are in business to make a profit. Now, I don't believe that people should make crap money. I understand, but you have to move on from the entry level jobs. Those jobs are minimum wage jobs for a reason. They're designed for kids just entering the workforce to go and work at those places. You're not supposed to be 35, 40 years old cooking at McDonald's or something. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to have an actual job making real money by that point in your life. That's an entry level job. Now, if you want to stay at an entry level job, you're going to get an entry level pay. That's just the truth of the matter. So anyway, enough of the rant. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you agree, or do you think I'm out of my freaking mind? It's okay if you think I'm out of my mind. I don't care. It's okay. Let me know, and as always, I appreciate you, and I will catch you in the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.